Aloha. I am saying aloha first because I'm coming to you from the beautiful island of Maui. And we're now going to talk about, we've talked about intentions, we've talked about circumstances. Now we're going to talk about volume. And what do I mean by volume? Well, first of all, volume is something that has to expand, right? Volume is two things coming together to create a bigger expansion. So when I talk about volume, and I'm talking about your intentions and your circumstances that happen in life, and what you want out of life, and how we create that with the action to a reaction that I've talked about in our previous videos. And if you're tapping into this in the first time, I would invite you to actually listen to some of the other videos in the video series. And so you can catch up with us and you can understand what I'm talking about with intention, which is actually when you set your intention, it's present. Different than setting a goal, because setting a goal is a future thing that you're focusing on. So the intention is actually setting that intention right now to get to where you want to go for that goal that you do set, which is in future contents. So what we're also doing is focusing in on our circumstances. One of our circumstances, once again, is the thoughts that we think that creates an action to get a reaction back, be it negative or positive. And now we're going to be talking about volume. And what is volume all about? Well, as I say, volume has to create two things coming together to make it bigger. So what I'm talking about is actually you coming together with your values. And you might remember in one of my first videos, we talked about values and what values are. And we're going to refocus on values in this video. And originally, I had asked the students to write down what the values are and what your values are. Because to me, values is a foundation to what you want to set your intention, your goals, your career, your family, your life. Those are your values, what means the most to you right here, right now, and what those feelings are. So let's focus in on values. So if we're going to combine you with your values, what we're actually doing is we're going to be creating a foundation, a solid foundation for you to go on. One analogy I always usually use is when you create that foundation, it's like a high-rise, like a skyscraper. You need that support so it can continue going up and out. And so that's what I want to do, is to have you focus on your values. So if you still have that piece of paper, or if you're watching this for the first time, grab a pen and paper, put me on pause, and then let's continue. And let's focus in on what that value is. I also had people write in journals about values. Because once again, this is your foundation. We're creating a volume now. We're making it bigger. We're making it bigger than life itself, so to speak. So, right now, or if you have some new values in place, write in some new values that you have as well as the values that you've either written before or you're writing down now for the first time. And look at those values. So write down those values now. Write down exactly what those values are and that are most present. And if you've been working on your intention and seeing circumstances from your intention, from what you've been writing down, then now let's put in our values with what's been going on with our circumstances, be it negative or positive. Do they bump up against those values like those markers on a road? Does it veer you off a direction, but do your values, like those markers, bring you back? Because what you're going to find is, if I use the analogy of going on the road and you see those reflectors, well, those reflectors are actually your values. Those are the values that clamp down to support you, and that's your road that you travel. That's the guide that you're going to be focusing in on. So, for this video, I would like you to know that your values is your road that you travel on. You and the values create the gas to get you going on that road, to create the volume on where you're going. So for this exercise, what I would like for you to do, once again with your journal, or if you're just starting this now, carry a journal with you and see with your values, it's kind of like the gas in your car, is to be able to focus in on those values and see what the circumstances are that's coming into your life from the intentions that you're placing out there with the action to cause a reaction. So see for this 1 week, again, just write down anything that happens. You don't have to write everything down. There's so many circumstances that happen within a week, it kind of gets crazy. So let's just go with 3. Let's go with 3 values, and let's go with 3 circumstances that happens to you within this week. And then next to that, see what is bumping up against what you're reading on your other list of your values and then the circumstances, and see if there's a connection. And if it's a negative one, see out of your values to make it positive. If it's a positive one, what's going to even put more gas in your car to make you go further? Maybe you're seeing through a tunnel. Maybe you're seeing light through there that your car can go through, that you can go through to get to the next destination. So follow me with the podcast. I would love to hear from you. I would love to hear comments. I would love to see comments. And there's a number of avenues on how you can reach me. You can reach me on my email that is connected to my website with Life Creations Education on my profile page. And I have an inbox, which is Marc Tolliver at Life Creations Education. And it's actually Marc T at Life Creations Education is my inbox. Also, you can follow me on Facebook. You can follow me on any number of links that's down below. Just click into one and you can follow me there too. And of course, I have my blog. And I'm also a salon studio owner, so I do have my clients following me as well, so that choose to tap into this podcast. So there's a number of avenues in how you can get in touch with me. So join me in following your intention to reach your goals. So with aloha from Maui, Hawaii, I wish you well, and I'll be checking in on the next podcast. Just a little 3-minute check-in to see how you're doing. Okay, aloha.